Good morning, children. This is lecture 3 of chapter Elements and Compounds. Before this, you got 3 videos for this particular chapter Elements and Compounds. That is lecture 1, lecture 2a and lecture 2b. Now, this is the last part of the chapter Elements and Compounds, and here in this lecture, we will study about the properties, uses of metals, nonmetals, metalloids and inert gases. Now this is a flow chart given what is matter. You already have seen this slide. I have already sent you this slide in lecture 1. Now in that lecture I have discussed all the things written here. Now here in this chapter we have discussed all other things except metals, nonmetals, metalloids and inert gases. So here in this lecture we will talk about metals, nonmetals, metalloids and inert gases. Now first is metals and nonmetals. Elements based on their properties are classified as metals and nonmetals. Some of the example of metals: aluminium, magnesium, iron, zinc, copper, gold, platinum, sodium, potassium. These all are the example of metals. And nonmetals: carbon, sulfur, chlorine, fluorine, phosphorus, oxygen, nitrogen, boron. These all are the examples of nonmetals. Let us see what are the properties of metal. The first one, metals are malleable. There's a new word for you. The malleable means they may be bitten or hammered to form thin sheets. Next is metals are ductile, which means they may be drawn into wires. Okay, then metals are good conductors of heat and electricity. Through the metal, the heat and electricity can pass. That is the meaning of good conductor. Now, metals have luster. What is the meaning of luster? Luster means shine, which means they have a shining surface. Now, metals are generally hard. Metals have high melting and boiling points. Metals have high tensile strength, which means they can hold heavy weight without breaking. Now, metals are mostly solid at room temperature. Exception is there. Mercury is the only liquid metal at room temperature. Mercury is the only liquid metal at room temperature. I am writing here exception. 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 Mercury. Mercury, the symbol is Hg, is the only liquid metal at room temperature. Okay, this is the exception. Now next is metals usually have silver or grey color. And the last one, metals are sonorous. That is again a new word. That is, metals make a ringing sound when heat. So many properties are there for metal. If a substance is having all these properties, then that substance will call as metal. Now see some exceptions. Mercury is a metal that exists as a liquid even at -35 degrees centigrade. Minus 35 degrees centigrade also mercury exists as a liquid. So you can say that mercury is the only liquid metal at room temperature. Now sodium and potassium are soft metals and can be cut with a knife. Very important, please learn all this. Then sodium, potassium, mercury and gallium have low boiling and melting points as compared to other metals. Then cesium and gallium are metals having low melting points. They melt even in hand. Okay. Zinc, arsenic and antimony are not very malleable, ductile and tensile as compared to other metals. And bismuth and tungsten are poor conductors of electricity. Children, you have to learn these exceptions. Now, uses of some metals. Copper and aluminium are used for making electric wires and cooking vessels. Aluminium is used for making components of aeroplanes and automobile engines. Sodium is used in nuclear reactor. Tin is used for coating food containers made of iron. Mercury is used in thermometer. You all know about it. Platinum, gold, silver are used in jewelry making. So these uses also you have to learn. Now, properties of non-metals. Like metals, non-metals are also having some properties. What are the properties of non-metals? Just opposite of metals. Non-metals are generally soft except diamond, which is the hardest naturally occurring substance. Very, very important. The hardest non-metal. Okay, you have to write diamond. Non-metals are generally soft. Metals are generally hard. Non-metals are generally soft. Just reverse. Non-metals are brittle, which means they may be broken easily. Non-metals are bad conductors of heat and electricity. Non-metals have dull appearance, non-lustrous, that means no shining surface. Non-metals may remain as solid, liquid or gas at room temperature. Solid non-metals have comparatively low melting and boiling points. And the last one, non-metals have low density. So, these are the properties of non-metals. Now, like metals, there are certain exceptions in non-metals also. Diamond is an allotropic form of carbon. Okay. It is a non-metal which is a good conductor of heat but bad conductor of electricity. Okay. It is hardest naturally occurring substance. Diamond is the hardest naturally occurring substance. Again, graphite. Graphite is yet another allotrope of carbon. It is a non-metal but very good conductor of heat and electricity. Graphite is used for making electrodes in batteries and dry cells. Okay, because it is a good conductor of electricity. It can conduct electricity, though non-metals are bad conductors of heat and electricity. Now, non-metals like iodine and graphite have luster. Actually, graphite is used in a pencil lead also. So, non-metals are generally dull, but iodine and graphite, they have luster. They are shining. Now, bromine is a non-metal which can exist as a liquid at room temperature. This is also very important. The non-metal which is liquid at room temperature is bromine. Very important. Please learn all these things. Uses of some nonmetals. Carbon is one of the most important nonmetals. You know why? Because it is part of all living beings. Mostly carbon compounds make petroleum fuels and lubricants. Oxygen is a nonmetal that is essential for the existence of life. You all know about it. Without oxygen, life is not possible. All animals breathe in oxygen in the process of respiration. Next is nitrogen. Nitrogen is used to manufacture fertilizers. It is essential for the growth and development of plants and crops. Then silicon is a nonmetal used in making microchips to be used in electronic goods. That is silicon. Now chlorine is a nonmetal used for disinfection. And neon, though neon is a noble gas, but it is a gas, so we can call it as nonmetal also. So neon is used in advertisement, in glow signboards, and for colored lighting. Okay, so please learn these uses of nonmetals. Next is coming metalloids. Elements that have both the properties of metals and nonmetals are called metalloids or semi-metals. They are having both the properties of metals and nonmetals present in them. Example of nonmetals: arsenic, antimony, bismuth, germanium, silicon, boron. All these are the example of metalloids. Now what about metalloids? The properties of metalloids. Metalloids means it is having the element, they are neither metals nor non-metal, but exhibit some properties of both. Next is all metalloids are solid at room temperature. And some metalloids are shiny and many are conductors. So they are having the properties in between metals and non-metals. They are known as metalloid. Now the comparison of the properties of metal, non-metal and metalloids. Metals, non-metals and metalloids in 3 different columns I have written. Just see once. Metals are shiny, non-metals dull, and metalloids have properties of both metals and non-metals. Metals are good conductor of heat and electricity, and non-metals are poor conductor of heat and electricity. And they are semiconductor. Some are conducting, some are non-conducting. They are malleable, metals are malleable and ductile. Non-metals are solid, tends to be brittle and non-malleable. And metalloids have properties of both metals and non-metals. Noble gases. There are 6 noble gases. As I told you, helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, radon. Helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon and radon. These 6 noble gases, you all know that they are having some different property. Noble gases belong to a group of gaseous element which are chemically inert. That means they are not reacting with anything. They are chemically inert. They are not chemically reacting with any other substance or elements, and do not react with other elements under normal conditions. Noble gases are present in traces in nature. This is very important, children. Noble gases are present in traces in nature and hence they are also known as rare gases. You may get a question why noble gases are known as rare gases, and sometimes we are calling it as noble gases, sometimes we are calling it as rare gases. See, helium is having atomic number 2, neon is having atomic number 10, argon is having atomic number 18, krypton is having atomic number 36, xenon is having atomic number 54, and radon is having atomic number 86. In the next class, when we will study about all these things, then we will know some more properties about the noble gases. See, all these, I told you about metals, I told you about non-metals, metalloids, noble gases. All these are comprises an element. All these are known as elements. Now, all these things, these elements, there are 118 elements. We know that till date. Now, these all are arranged in a table that is known as periodic table. That is not there in your portion. But when you will go to standard 9, that periodic table will be a chapter. Then you will see that all the elements, how the placement of the elements are there in the periodic table. In that periodic table, there are something which is known as periods and group. There are having columns, rows like this. This is the horizontal rows, they are known as period. They are having vertical column, they are known as groups. Now, in that periodic table, these noble gases, they have been given a separate group, that is group 8. But it is not there in your portion, so you need not to know about this also. But just I told you, in the next class when you will go to standard 9, you will read about it. The chapter Elements and Compounds ends here. Please go through the video properly. See the topics covered in the video. Read the book properly and try to understand.